We do our job, make big holes, tackle the headed bastard. We go home, we drink some beer, and we party.
Let's go!
Hey, let's go. Welcome to Seth's Smorgasbord of Sports, coming to you from the fan zone of 51 West Studios. I have a serious question for you football fans out there today. Everyone knows that the Browns and Lions, they're the worst two organizations in NFL history, but I have a question, who's worse, okay? Who's worse, the Browns or the Lions? I'm going to take you back a little bit, okay? Back to when they were both good in the Twilight Zone before any of us were alive in the 50s. The Lions and the Browns met against each other in the NFL Championship 4 times inside of 6 years. And the Lions won 3 out of 4. So automatically, that gives the Lions an edge against the Browns, okay? The Browns had Jim Brown. The Lions have Barry Sanders, okay? That's like their history. And they both have no Super Bowl appearances in the past 54 years. Because I can bet that neither of them are going to get there this year, okay? But when you look over their history, the Browns have less than 10 division wins. They fumbled on the goal line with Ernest Biner. They gave up the drive to John Elway. They've come so close a few times to at least getting to a Super Bowl. But they didn't get there, okay? The Lions, on the other hand, have 1 playoff win in the Super Bowl era. 1. Okay, and it was in 1991. They beat Dallas, and then they got murdered the next week by the Redskins, so it almost doesn't even count. So, this is a tough question, in my opinion. They're both so terrible. They both bust on all their draft picks. The Browns have had 40 different head coach quarterback combinations since becoming a team again in 1999. So if you really want to get technical and say that the old Browns moved and became the Ravens, and then the new Browns came along, they're obviously the worst team in NFL history. I mean, they've had 40 quarterback coach combinations. However many I think they're on number 30 with quarterbacks now since they came back with Tim Couch. That's just pathetic, all right? I would be embarrassed to be a fan of that team. But they both share another thing in common. They both also went 0-16. They're the only teams that have ever gone 0-16. The Lions in 2007, would the Browns do it in 15 or 16 or 17, something like that? I don't know. I don't care. They suck. They went 1-15 one of those years too. So they won 1 game inside of 2 years. They beat the San Diego Chargers, and they ran them out of town to Los Angeles. So, they were so embarrassed to lose to the Browns that they had to flip cities. But these two teams, if they played each other with all of their terribleness, who would win in a toilet bowl? Okay, that's up to the viewer, because I honestly can't decide on who's a worse organization. I guess if I had to choose one of them on who's worse, because they're both terrible. It's really hard to pick between these two teams. They both became teams in the 30s and 40s and have been around forever and have their NFL championship history, but no Super Bowl history. And that's honestly what I look at. I'm more of a Super Bowl era person than NFL championships. But looking back on it, if the Lions took 3 out of 4 from the Browns in the NFL championship era, and the Browns have gone through what they've gone through, and you can say what you want about the Lions, because they've made some terrible draft picks too. Ryan Broyles, Andre Ware, you name it, they've made bad ones. Megatron, Matthew Stafford are pretty much their only hits in the past 30 years, in my opinion, besides maybe, obviously Barry Sanders. But the Browns have to be worse, just based on this past stretch since 1999. I mean, that's the worst stretch in NFL history by any club. Maybe the worst stretch in pro sports history. And I'm probably picking the Browns because I hate the Browns way more than I hate the Lions. Dilly dilly, Cleveland. Thanks for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate all my subscribers. Peace out.